Good morning, this is Allohmon, and I wanted to give you guys a channel update. So, first of all, I have been sick now for about a week, still trying to get over it. It's just been a cold and sore throat and all that good stuff. Timing wasn't that great because I will be leaving the country in just a couple days, and I'll be gone for about 2.5 weeks. And so I've been recording like mad so that I won't have to put the channel on hiatus, and at this point I do in fact have 18 videos queued up, or well, actually 13 are completely uploaded to YouTube. 5 more are uploading right now as I speak. Schedule is Europa Universalis, the Austronesia campaign, the Taiwan Typhoon, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And I also did a whole bunch of recording of cities' skylines, and that'll fill up the remaining 4 days of the week, Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. So, I hope you enjoy that. It is another Paradox game, and I think there's a lot of overlap between folks who like EU4 and folks who like city skylines. For this EU4 campaign, the Taiwan Typhoon, it does feel like it's winding down a lot. I think I've mentioned this in 1 or 2 of the videos. There is an EU4 DLC coming out in the relatively near future. I don't know exactly when. I don't remember if it has a name yet. I don't know. But it's going to add the ability to grow tall rather than just wide, as the saying goes. Basically upgrade your provinces by spending monarch points instead of just having to conquer new provinces. So my campaign idea is, okay, so there's the subreddit Ulm Gone Wild, which is celebrating, extremely expansionistic Ulms, covering all of France and the Holy Roman Empire and all that. Well, I was thinking maybe do the opposite. Do an Ulm Gone Mild, where you start as Ulm, only ever fabricate a claim if you have a mission to do so, only ever take a province if you have a claim or a core on it. Maybe not even ever actively declare war, only fight wars that other people have declared on you, and basically make it kind of a speed run in which, we spend the time upgrading Ulm, or whatever other provinces we happen to end up with, and fostering alliances with great powers to prevent us from being gobbled up. So that's a campaign that I haven't seen anyone try to do yet. Maybe there's a reason for that, maybe it'll be horribly boring, but that's my current idea for something a little different that really fits in with the flavor of this new DLC that will be coming out whenever it comes out. I also wanted to talk about Patreon a bit. So at the moment I have 2 patrons who are together pledging a whopping $30 per month toward the channel, which is just incredible. So I want to thank both of you, Stephen Clothier and Daniel Urquhart. I'm just blown away that people are willing to pledge that much money toward a channel. I mean, I support a few channels, but honestly, it's just $1 each because I don't have that much to sling around. Now, one thing that seems to... all this Patreon stuff is pretty new. A lot of channels are doing it, but one kind of policy is not really the right word. One way of doing things that I've been hearing about is only updating the title card showing your Patreon supporters once each month, because that's when the pledge charges go through, and otherwise it's just really tough for channels to try to update every time the patrons change. And especially if you have a bunch of videos uploaded in advance. Like I said, I have 18 in the queue right now. That messes with it as well. So the first several videos for May are already in the queue, but after that I will be updating the Patreon title card to thank anyone and everyone who's chipping into the channel. And as for that, I had a few milestone goals set up. So one of them was to get a new video card, but I ended up getting a new video card when I was having all my computer problems, so I removed that goal. I had another goal at $15 to get a new microphone, which I would really like to do. I've really been hesitant to get a microphone because things have been on shaky ground over here, which I'll talk about more in a bit. But I have hit the goal, so I think maybe once I get back, I'm going to the UK for a couple weeks. Once I get back from there, I think maybe I'll pull the trigger on that, get a new microphone. I also had a goal that I'm now feeling a little trepidatious about. $20 goal was 2 videos per day, which is somewhere around maybe 7 or 8 hour commitment per week for me. The actual footage is less than that, but it does take some time to throw it up in the editor, put the clips together for the the intro and outro cards, to render the stuff, to get it uploaded to YouTube. I mean, most of that, the computer just sits there and does the work, and I do other stuff, but it does take some time. So that's going to be my goal, trying to do 2 videos per day. I obviously can't do that for these next few weeks because I'm about to go out of town, and I've already done all the recording that I pretty much can. But I'm going to do my best to stick to that, to do 2 videos per day. I don't know that I can really get 14 per week. Maybe it'll be more like 10 per week or something, but I've been really good at having at least 7 per week, so just ramping that up a bit further should be well within my ability. Now, the other thing I alluded to is I had a really big scare a couple weeks ago. So I am an instructor at a university, and I'm a lot like one of those, if you've seen articles about adjunct instructors and how there's, zero job security and very low pay, 0 benefits. I actually do have some benefits, which I'm very thankful for. My university is actually pretty generous. They give health insurance, even if you're only teaching 1 class. You get free public transportation within the county, which is huge as well. I mean, I have a car, but it saves a lot of money to be able to ride the bus every day, not have to pay for parking. But everyone who's in a position like I'm in is on just a 4-month-long contract every time. So at the very end of the semester, or sometimes right near the beginning of a new semester, that's when they can say, oh, you know what, we don't need you, so we're just not going to hire you. And, you don't get unemployment because it doesn't legally count as you being laid off because your contract was only for 4 months, with no expectation of renewal. So a whole bunch of my colleagues got laid off, and I feel pretty terrible for them. I know a lot of them, well, I mean, I don't know too many intimate details about any given person's life, but I know this is a huge blow to a lot of people. And I was told that I was going to be cut from a full-time schedule, which I was already incredibly lucky to have, to a half-time schedule, which was pretty much going to cover rent and not really anything else. So I was racing to, apply to a bunch of more jobs and get more freelance work. I'm always doing lots of freelance work. But it was looking like I was going to be, potentially several $1,000s in the hole for this year. And that's because enrollment has been dropping. There's a lot of international stuff going on I won't get into, that it's just affecting our student population. Thankfully, that got changed. I basically, I didn't mean for it to be like a let's play hardball kind of thing, but I just kind of said, yeah, I totally understand the situation that the Institute's in, but if I can only be employed half-time, that's not going to be a sustainable income for me going forward. And I just kind of left it off at that particular meeting. But then a few days later, they called me in and said, yeah, we talked about it, we decided we really, really, really need you. We'd be in a total pickle without you, so we're willing to offer you full-time again for the summer, but we can't guarantee anything, for future semesters. It's still very touch and go. We don't know what's going to happen. So that's kind of the life that I live, kind of semester by semester. Who knows what the hell's going to happen? So that is, what kind of goes on in the background here. And that's a big part of kind of what this Patreon stuff is about, because I often feel like, when I do have a job, when I do have extra freelance stuff, when I do have money coming in, sometimes there's big surpluses each month, but it's very unreliable. And I have had some very lean months here and there as well. So I often feel like I don't have that much freedom to spend extra money on this hobby. It was a big... I felt very conflicted when my computer was having a lot of problems. I didn't want to spend lots of money to get it fixed up, but I also knew it was, well, to an extent, a sunk cost issue, but just it would be really weird to have a computer sitting here with just a few faulty parts and just, throw my hands up and say, well, put so much money into this, but I'm not going to put the extra couple hundred to keep it running. So I did put the money in. But yeah, so that's kind of what this Patreon stuff is about, to make me feel like it's this extra money that's separate from kind of my professional life and my career that I can put back into the hobby and hopefully keep making pretty high quality videos, get a better microphone. This one has glitched out on way too many occasions. So yeah, that's my situation. This trip to the UK, I feel like this is kind of a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Well, I don't know that I want to get into the whole story about that, but this has been, a number of years in the making, and I'm just going to try to not worry about stuff back home and just have the best time I can. So I'll see you guys in May. Like I said, all these videos that are going to be up over the next few weeks through May 6th, I think, are things I have already recorded. So any comments you make in the meantime, anything else you say in the meantime, you're not going to see reflected in those videos because they are recorded well in advance. So good night, sleep tight, and don't let whatever bite. Bye-bye.